Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 18, overall 513 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210 and tell them Chris Palme sent you. Or you can email the dealer at barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and yours truly has been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph for the past 25 years. I hope everyone's doing well on this Thursday, March 20th, 2025, and this is my fourth show in 4 days with four different guests here on this Thursday, March 20th, 2025. Before we bring on our guest, I want to give a shout out to a young lady at Valet Car Wash on Gordon Street here in Guelph on the south end. Her name is Paige. I had my car, the inside of it, detailed today, and she took about an hour, and it looks like it's brand new. So anybody here in Guelph, in the Guelph area, looking for a good car wash or good interior cleaning of your vehicle, check out Valet Car Wash on Gordon Street on the south end in Guelph, and Paige is one of the attendants there. So a shout out to Paige, and also my friend Rachel Lipsky, who's released a new song called Cowgirl Candy, which will be released tomorrow, March 20th. Later on in this show tonight, I'm going to play you guys her latest song, which will be available tomorrow, Friday, March 20th. And check out her website, rachellipsky.com. I am excited tonight for my guest. This is her first appearance on our show. She's Canadian. She's from the great province of Manitoba, and it is Jennifer Evans. She is a certified relationship and life coach out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, and she's also the author of her own book called Inner Child Healing, and we're going to bring her on for her first appearance on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. Good evening, Jen.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing okay on this Thursday, March 20th. You know what's funny? Every time I get my car washed, actually I detailed today, but every time I get it washed, it seems to rain within less than 24 hours. And then I had a bird poop on it today too. So
They say that's good luck when a bird
yes, that's
poops on
true.
your car.
That's true. That's true. And how are things in the great province of Manitoba, and what's the weather like out there right now?
It's not bad. It's a little icy. Like it's kind of it's chilly. It's spring. You could definitely tell.
I don't think winter's over yet, because I know in the past here in Ontario, we've had snowstorms at the end of March and in April. So I've even seen some snow here in May too.
Yeah, I've heard you guys have gotten lots of snow, actually. We actually don't have that much snow. We just have a lot of ice still.
Oh, we didn't get any ice here this year. We got about 3.5, 4 feet of snow here this year.
Wow. That's
and now it's all gone. Now it's all gone. So, but hey, you were at the Jelly Roll concert the other night.
Yes. It was fun.
What was
I
that
went live.
And I saw some of it on live. So what was the experience like, and overall, how was he as a performer?
Oh, so good. I don't even know, like it's just so inspiring to see how he's completely turned his life around, and I don't his music is it's just moving. I would describe it. You know, there's like artists.
Where was the concert at, Jen?
It was at the Canada Life Center in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
The home of the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes.
And
Are
that's
you
where
a hockey fan?
yes, I'm a hockey fan. I'm a Detroit Red Wings fan.
Oh, okay. My spouse is a big Jets fan.
They're having a good year. The Winnipeg Jets are having a good year.
Hmm.
It's been a long time since a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup. 1993.
Hmm.
So
Don't
I will
jinx
be.
it.
I'm not a Leafs fan. I actually like the Leaf players. I just the Toronto media they get a little too much. So
Yeah,
I really hope a Canadian team wins it this year, and I hopefully it's the Winnipeg Jets.
I agree. It's about time.
What makes Winnipeg and the province of Manitoba such a great place to work and live at?
I think just the Canadians. I think Winnipeg, I don't know, Canada all in general is just so, I don't know, friendly for the most part. We all care about each other in some aspect. I don't know if it's Winnipeg in general, but you know, can't really speak for the other provinces, I guess. But
What's the biggest stereotype that you hear about Winnipeg and the province of Manitoba?
oh, I don't even know. I don't even know stereotypes. Um,
I always hear blizzards and minus 40, minus 50 temperatures all the time.
yeah, I don't know. I think every city and province has their good and bad, but I don't know. We do have pretty bad storms here and there. This year's been pretty good though.
Have you been to other parts of Canada outside of Winnipeg, Manitoba?
Yeah, I've been to Saskatchewan, just kind of driven driven through it. I've been to Alberta. I've been to Ontario, and I've been to BC because my dad lives out in BC, so I'll go out there every couple years to go visit him.
Is the
I
cost of
prefer
oh,
BC then. No, you go.
BC?
Sorry.
No, BC. I wanted to get your perspective too. You know, Ontario, it's a nice place to live, but it's really expensive here. Is the cost of living has it increased a lot out west, especially in Manitoba?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I think
So
BC is a little bit more expensive though. It always kind of has been though.
I'm going to be honest with you, Jen. I'm Canadian. I was born in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, but I've been to more states than I have provinces here. So I'm really now in the next few years are going to start trying to travel around Canada instead of the other country right now, which has their issues. And I think there's a lot of good things in Canada that I've never been to, and I need to get out to at some point.
I agree. Yeah,
And
Canada's beautiful.
I'm hoping this year to get out to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg.
You should.
You a Bombers fan too?
I'm not a huge sports fan.
No,
My
that's
spouse is
okay.
a huge my spouse is a huge hockey fan, so I feel like I'm kind of left with no choice sometimes. Well, not fully, but you know what I mean? You kind of have to watch it. It's always on, we'll say.
Absolutely, and
So I
that's
don't
the one
mind
thing.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I love sports too, but with my show the last 3 years, I still do sports shows that are non-sports issues as well.
Yeah, you're trying
All
to.
right, Jen. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say you're trying to venture out a little bit.
That's what I'm trying to do. Yes, and I've been really lucky to get so many great guests on here, and I just approach people, and I guess they like my work when they see it on social media.
Yeah, you have a very like soft voice. I don't know. You have a good talk show host voice.
I'm still trying to get used to my voice because I do listen to these shows after, and I'm like, oh, my voice. But I guess a lot of the other
Oh,
broadcasters I talk to say they go through that too as well. And I just try to be myself on here with all the guests, and I want the guests to come on here and share their story.
I think you do wonderful.
Well, thank you. And
Yeah,
social media, you hear the negative things about it, but if you use it the right way, it can be a really good tool.
absolutely. But you can't, you got to
And
listen
that's what I'm
to
trying
what
to do.
you feel. Yeah. There's always going to be negative, right? But
Yep. In any
yeah,
career you go into, you're going to have people support you, but you're going to get your skeptics, naysayers, and haters. You just have to block them out and believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Jen, can you tell my audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Jen. I am a certified life coach. Um, Often I get asked how long I've been a life coach for. I recently just got certified this past September.
Congrats.
Uh, Thank you. I'm very excited. Yeah, it's I've had a very, very long journey. I started actually on TikTok, I think November of 2023. I was a mess, we'll say. My life was just completely falling apart after my spouse suffered a stroke in 2022. My daughter ended up running away. We got involved with like the child welfare system. I'll kind of get into that after, but yeah, and basically after my life kind of fell apart, I came on TikTok November of 2023 and just started telling my story. I started off with about 200 followers, and then I just kept going. I got to about just over 60 something videos, and these were like 10-minute videos. Before my mental health was just kind of depreciating. So I just kind of stopped. In that time, I was looking for a lot of outlets on how to like help bring myself up. And that's when I started doing something called Trauma Talk Tuesdays, which I don't know if you're aware on TikTok. I do it still to this day. Originally, I was just looking for other people to kind of like talk about trauma and, like-minded individuals. It kind of fell into a mentoring position that I wasn't actually mentally prepared for because I didn't deal with my own trauma, we'll say, and heal from it. Yeah, so after that, I kind of hit a bit of a wall and hit a bit of a depression and sat in it for a little bit. And although I really enjoyed doing like helping other people and listening to other people, I knew that that was something I wanted to kind of go forward with. So yeah, last March, I took up a course on how to become a life coach. It took me about 6 months, and I basically put in like every day of studying and whatnot. And then yeah, September I got my certification and started my Trauma Talk Tuesdays back up, and here we are.
So it took you 6 months to get certified. Did you do it in class or did you do it online?
Online. Online. Yeah. So basically I had to do a lot of deep therapy first. There's like different sections to it. You have to like heal, you have to work on yourself first. And then it teaches you other aspects of it, like psychological aspects, like what is manipulation and, like how the brain works, right? And then after obviously all that, I had to do a written test, which I got 100 out of 100. Ooh. And then, yeah, so it doesn't, it all depends on the person. Like it doesn't necessarily just take 6 months. It could take, a year. It just depends on how much you're willing to put into it, I guess.
How satisfying was it getting certified? And for the people that are watching this show on live stream or on audio, and they're looking
Mhm.
for a relationship life coach, would you recommend them being certified to before considering even contacting somebody?
Like to get therapy or to get coaching done.
Just if somebody out there is watching this show and they're looking for a good, reputable relationship and life coach, would that be one of the big signs right there to make sure they're certified?
Absolutely. Um, like I know for myself before I was certified, I could not um I couldn't hold on to other people's problems, or I couldn't make space for them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think being certified definitely is very important, because those are the people that can hold space for you. And a lot of it is, when you're certified too, a lot of those people have done the work on themselves. So they understand the aspects of healing and what it takes also, you know.
What is your biggest strengths, in your opinion, of being a relationship and life coach?
I think the fact that I can really empathize with a lot of people's struggles. Like, I've gone through many aspects of my life. Um, and I don't judge. Like, I don't, I understand the aspects of addiction. I understand the aspects of like being a single parent, like there's so many aspects. I understand the aspects of being the caregiver of the, partner that's disabled, because that's the life I live, right? So I think it's more or less, I think, the empathy part.
Since I have you on here, Jen,
Mhm.
what's your thought on empathy nowadays with social media and the internet? I'm from my perspective, I'm seeing less empathy than in the past.
Yeah, I don't really see it much. I don't really feel that people treat people like people anymore. One of the things is why I became a coach, is because when I was going through all of my things with my child, even, I really got to see how broken the system really is. And a lot of, even like, I'm not going to knock down every therapist, because I know there's a lot of good therapists out there, but the aspect is missing, that people don't treat people like people anymore. It's more of a job, and like, you're a client to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no connection there.
Absolutely. And I'll be honest,
Mhm.
in my former career, I was in corporate security. I had to deal with all walks of life. And part of my
Mhm.
job as a security officer was to have empathy. And and you get more out of people when you empathize with them. Like I had to not just do a
Absolutely.
lot of talking, but I also had to do a lot of listening. And I feel there's more people with mental health issues now than ever before, with all the stress going on in the world, with the internet, just
Mhm.
with technology. And I think it's important for people to listen just as much as talk. What's your thoughts on the listening skills too?
Absolutely. Because everybody wants to feel heard at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And understood. And like I said, it's the aspect of treating people like people, right? And the understanding. So I completely agree with you. And, it is, you have to be able to listen, and not just listen in a, or I don't like, you can't just respond just for the sake of it. Like, there's a lot of people that will message me, and I'll take a day or two to kind of process what they've told me. But I will make sure I tell them, like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to take in what you're saying, right? Because I don't want to just respond just because. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want those people to feel heard, in a sense, and valued. That's the one thing, is value.
And also, I find this social taboo stuff. If you go to a therapist or a shrink, there's something wrong with you. But I'll be honest,
Yeah.
the people that do go get help are not the ones that really are. It's the ones that refuse to get help that need it the most. And
Hmm.
I really think sometimes it helps to talk to somebody from outside your inner circle to give you a different perspective.
Absolutely. And I think a financial piece plays into it too, and again, I don't want to knock down therapists. But I have been in that seat on the other side of the therapist, where it's like, here's the therapist and here's me. Do you know what I mean? And it's, there's no connection level. It's how do you, like, person with a fancy degree and this and this and this, right? Like, I don't know. I've been in that seat, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's been there. Like you said, kind of, it feels like something's wrong with you, you know?
Jen, where did you attend school, and did you have any early influences and mentor into your career?
Sorry if that was my dog.
I like dogs.
Yeah,
What's the name of your dog and breed?
that is Peanut, and he is a Chihuahua. I have another one, but he's not as yappy,
I
which is
noticed the
named
smaller
Buddy.
dogs, Buddy. Okay, Buddy and
Yes.
Peanut. I noticed the
Yeah.
smaller dogs are yappier than the bigger dogs.
Oh, I know. He has to bark at everything. It's funny though. It's the Chihuahua for sure. But back to your question. I can't remember what you just asked me. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Where did you attend school, and did you have some earlier influences and mentors that kind of helped shaped you?
So I took school at Selkirk Regional Comprehensive. Lord Selkirk Regional Comprehensive. So in a little town, Selkirk here. I don't know how to fully answer that question. I had a pretty rough upbringing with my teenage years. I've like experimented with a lot of, I guess we'll say, negative peers. So, um, I think I did have a lot of, I guess, good mentors that I could remember, like uh, school counselors and stuff like that. Um, but a lot of it was trying to figure it out on my own a little bit.
For for those people, Jen, that are
Yeah.
hanging around with the wrong people and the wrong element, and you've experienced that, how do you get out of that negative environment?
Um, like how would they get out of it themselves?
What would you recommend? Like, what would
That's a very hard one because it depends on the age, right? Because a lot of it stems from childhood trauma, like say like a teen, right? That's in the middle of hanging out with the wrong group and they're getting into substances, right? Like a lot of it is they're running away from something that has happened from their childhood. Um, so it, and a lot of it is subconscious. Like a lot of them don't understand that aspect. They're not like, oh, I'm running away because of this, right? Like I grew up without a father figure, so I'll just kind of like explain, and a single mom, and like my mom was a really good mom and like did the best she could, but there was a lot of aspects where I felt like I didn't belong, like with my stepdad and stuff. And again, my stepdad is a wonderful stepdad, good provider, but we never had that connection. Do you know what I mean? So, it was after my sister was born. I was about 11. So I kind of grew up like at that age, not feeling where I fit in. Do you know what I mean? Accepted. So I kind of veered off looking in negative ways, if that makes sense. But
absolutely
yeah,
go ahead?
but I didn't think of those things as a 12, 13-year-old child. It wasn't like, oh, it's because of, my sister's born and this and this and this, right?
Yeah, and I've gone
Hmm.
through some trauma in my life too, and I was told when the trauma happened to me,
Yeah.
basically, I wasn't gonna get through school, I'd be a dropout, I'd be a loser, and I used that as motivation. I had a mother who had to raise 2 kids by herself, and she was strong,
Oh,
but I didn't go through the wrong path, and there were
yeah.
stereotypes back in the '80s when somebody's, parent dies, "Oh, that
No.
person is gonna end up in the wrong way," and, I proved them wrong, and it wasn't easy. It took me a long time to get over it, and for many years, I couldn't talk to people about his passing away, 2 days before Christmas because I didn't want people to feel sorry for me, and
Oh,
I didn't wanna use that as an excuse to not succeed in life, and it impacted my life, and a lot of positive things came out of it.
yeah. That's the way you got to look at it too, right? Like sometimes everything has to happen for a reason, right? With trauma. I'm very sorry to
Eh
hear that though.
well, I'm not
It's very
alone.
sad.
A lot of people have gone through a loss of a parent at Christmas time
Hmm.
too. So it's going to be 40 years actually this December. So
Oh,
one of my
my
guests that
condolences to you.
well, thank you so much. And one of
Hmm.
my guests that was on last night, Melissa Heathers is watching us tonight, and I really think you should connect with Melissa. She is such a
Absolutely.
positive person, and she's written a book as well. So you guys have something in common with being authors too.
Oh, hello, Melissa.
And I love connecting people too. That's another thing about this show. It's not just the storytelling aspect, but I've connected people with others on here as well.
I love that. I love that. I love meeting new people too, especially positive people that are doing well in their lives, you know?
And it all starts with mindset too, by the way. It's
Absolutely.
mindset and passion. And you have to be willing to accept rejections. When people tell me no, I don't take it personally. I just look at it
Hmm.
as I look at it as no as a temporary setback, and I use it as motivation as well.
Absolutely. And people only meet you where where they see themselves. So even if it has nothing to do with you, it just could be an aspect of their lives that they're not ready to face, you know.
Jen, can you tell my audience about your background in relevant trauma and your experiences and the impact they had on your life?
Oh man. I don't know how
Or
far you want
just
me to go back.
or you can condense it a little
Well,
bit.
I've already kind of touched base with like my adolescent years, which kind of led me into like substance and negative peers. I ended up getting pregnant at the age of 16. I had my daughter at the age of 17. Most people would really, frown upon that. And I understand it's not ideal to have a child at 17, but I do look at it as she was my saving grace. Because I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my child. Um, yeah, so there's been a lot of aspects in that. I feel that my kids are like everything to me. Like I would, prioritize, as a parent should, right? I might get emotional. It gets very
I'm not trying to
like,
make you cry. I had one of my guests the other day
no,
go,
it's okay. It's
okay,
okay.
I
It's
definitely don't
okay.
want
But
I definitely
no,
want my guests to cry.
no, I went through the kind of, we'll say, the white picket fence. I got married at the age of 19 with my kid's father. We kind of moved out, and I was very kind of delusional, we'll say, living the life that society kind of wants you to live. You want to move out, get married, have kids, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I got pregnant with my second at the age of 19. Some very traumatic things happen. It's kind of like you move in with somebody, you get married, and then you learn that they're not the person that you thought they were. So yeah, I ended up packing up all my stuff when I was 19, moving back in with my mom when I was pregnant. Basically started again with absolutely nothing, on welfare, like trying to bring a child into this world. I had my other daughter, who is now like 3 after I had my second. Yeah, we finally ended up getting our own place, and I raised my kids, obviously, on my own. So I understand the aspect of being a single mother and how hard it is. Um, yeah, I don't know. They were about, I want to say, my youngest was about 2 when their biological dad came back in. Um, he did the whole visitation and all of that stuff. I don't know. I'm getting kind of choked up, but um, yeah,
What
I just
advice
need a second.
no problem. What
Yeah.
advice for those people that are watching this live stream or audio and there's somebody out there that's a young mother or going to be a young mother, what advice would you give to them from your
Oh
experience?
man. Um, I know that you're gonna have really hard days, but those will be some of your best days, and your kids will look back at that, and they will, as long as you have each other, that's all that matters. Because I remember when my kids were small and we were broke, like living on welfare, and those were some of my best moments with my kids eating. And like, yeah, I had to eat their table scraps, But, just seeing, I don't know, just seeing how happy your kids are. Like, they don't understand the aspect of money. So just know that your kids at the end of the day are super proud of you, and you are going to make it. So
What are you the most proud about being a mother?
just seeing how much my kids have like succeeded and the close bond we still have, and just everything that I've kind of gone through, even in the past 2 years, like just how strong I actually am as a mom. Like I would give my left foot for those kids. So
And being a parent is a full-time job. It's not some part-time
yeah,
job. It's a 24/7, 365 day a year job.
absolutely. Absolutely. And your kids, they yeah, I'm getting all choked up. But like, you might not think your kids are paying attention and stuff like that, but they do. They do. There's things like that I tried to instill in them when they were younger, and I felt like it wasn't working. But now, seeing as they're getting older, I'm seeing those things starting to come up in the way, how they are, like their mannerisms and stuff. And it makes me feel good.
And kids grow up quickly. Like, I never had kids, but
Oh, I know.
my nephew and nieces were all born in the late '90s, early 2000s, and now they're all adults. And it's just amazing how fast time goes.
I know.
Even as an uncle, it goes quick.
Oh, it's bittersweet too, eh?
All right, Jen. What was the inspiration behind your book, Inner Child Healing Workbook? And I want to say congratulations on publishing and
Thank
writing your own
you.
book. That's amazing.
Thank you. Main inspiration is, I think, I don't know, like I for coaching, I definitely just want different things for everybody because I understand that people work differently. So I kind of created the workbook in a way of just opening up those aspects of inner child healing and, to work on it on their own time. Sometimes it's just a little bit of a scratching the surface.
What was the publishing the book process like in terms of finding a publisher, or if you self-published, and how long was the process with writing this self-help book, and where can my audience purchase this book online?
I did it all myself. It took months, but I think it took September. It took about 2 months to actually write the book and like create it. And then it took about a month to actually, because there's a PDF form and a printable form. So, yeah, so it took a couple months to do that. And you can purchase it on my website, which
And
is in my, oh,
I
sorry,
have
go
it
ahead.
down here, payhip.com, I believe.
Yeah,
Payhip.com is your
yeah,
website. Okay. And
yeah.
is your book, besides your website, is it available on Amazon or any of that?
Not yet. I'm still trying to figure out the technology of everything.
Gonna put you on the spot here, Jen.
Okay.
Any plans for more books in the future?
Yes, I actually want to write a book of my entire story that I kind of went through to get here. So I do have plans to do that. I've been working on the rough draft of it. I'm still not complete, but there's a lot.
What are your thoughts on the shrinking hard copy industry with everything these days going to digital?
Um, I don't know, because there's a lot of people that don't understand the digital aspect of things. Like even for me trying to create these workbooks and make them PDFs, I had a very hard time. So there are people that they don't know how to work that stuff, right? So I don't know. I've kind of got mixed feelings about it, I guess.
I'll personally be honest, I still like the hard copy books, just like the CDs. If my unfortunately my new car doesn't have a CD player, but I still miss CDs, and I like hard copies. I know digital is the in thing now, but it's like with cash. A lot of places now won't even accept cash
I
anymore.
know.
It's all debit and credit card. We're all
That's,
it's there's going to be a point where cash will be gone completely in the
I
next
know,
five
it's very
years.
sad. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very old school. I like hard copy just as like you, but I get it too. They're trying to make it easy. I guess it's good to have both. Like that's why I did make a PDF and a printable for people that are a little bit more digital and not digital, you know?
When you wrote the book, did you have any writers that kind of influenced your style? What kind of a writing style do you have?
Um, it's more like questions and answers, actually. So it's more of my coaching style, and like I just want people to I guess inner reflect on their childhood and understand different pieces and aspects on how they could be um bringing that into their adult waking life and why, you know? So it's an actual workbook, like a question and answer, I guess.
How many pages is the book?
I want to say, I think it's 13 pages. And I actually designed it um, purposely. In some of the pieces of the book, there might be a few reoccurring questions, or I made one spelling error in the things. And I purposely did this, and I've had a few questions on why. Because there might be somebody that might get annoyed, say, with reoccurring questions, and that has nothing to do with my book. That has everything to do with, okay, well, why do why does that trigger you? Because it is a deep inner trigger, right? Or the mistake, right? Why is this person so critical? And it a lot of it does stem from childhood.
For those people that are writing books themselves, they're authors.
Hmm.
For those people who are doing it, what advice would you give to them with self-publishing? And what was that process like? Was it difficult self-publishing the book yourself?
A little bit. I would say do your research. YouTube, kind of you can self-teach yourself, but yeah, do your research. Don't just like jump into just one thing, kind of like feel it out and don't rush. Things take time. Mine's taken since September, so it sometimes things take time.
I was looking on your website today. Can you tell us a little bit about your coaching services?
Yeah, so I'm not finished yet, but right now I have 3 different coaching services. So I have one-on-one, like it's pretty much like this, a video call. I charge dollar by minute, so I have 30, 60, and 90. I really try and stick with the importance of financial because I understand that that is very hard for some. Um, Future wise, I would like to somehow figure out some group packages or payment plans. I don't have the full ideas of that yet, but yeah.
And myself having my own business at home, can you just tell my audience how important branding and marketing yourself is?
Very. I'm still learning this, Chris. I'm not very good at the promoing, but yes, it
Especially
is
social
very
media.
important. Yes.
To me,
Sometimes
to
I
me,
will record like 5 times. Like, how
to
do
me,
people do this so easily? Sorry.
to me, to, no, to me, talking to the guests is the easy part. It's the doing the pre-work and the
Yes.
after work is the hard part. This is the easy part. And I wear like I've got a ball cap on here right now, Skechers, but I wear 8 or 9 different hats literally because I got nobody else to help me. So this is my baby, and in a way, it's good that I learn all aspects of it as well.
Yeah. No, you're doing great too. I think this is so professional, like I'm just in awe of what you do.
Well, thank you so much. And
And I'm so
how
honored.
well, you're welcome. And how did you come up with your logo for your book? And do you have any other logos coming up in the future for your brand?
I'm not sure yet. Like for the second question, I don't know. I just like the logo. I think, holding the heart kind of thing, your little child heart. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Um, I do have another book that's Mindset Matters. I don't know if you've seen that on the website.
No, I
I think
did
it's on
not.
there. Yeah, it's more just a daily, like more like a daily workbook of like goals and that you want to set and stuff.
Mindset and whatever career you're in, and from what I've
Yeah,
talked to all my guests, the number one thing is mindset. Mindset is just as important as passion. You can have the passion,
absolutely.
but if you don't have the mindset, you're not going to be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It manifests everything. Like I've slowly learned that. Like, a year ago I was completely in this victim mentality and I couldn't figure out, why my life was just chaotic all the time. But that's what I was creating because every day it was like, I was seeking validation constantly for how I felt, you know?
I wanted to use a word with you, Jen, and I know I'm guilty of
Mm,
this myself, and I'm trying
yeah.
to get over it. People pleasing. Just thoughts on people pleasing mentality.
Oh man, I've lived in that. So I definitely know. I definitely see it in an aspect of just wanting to feel accepted. Um, it depends on the person, but a lot of it stems from childhood trauma. Like like I kind of spoke about earlier, is how I grew up with an absent father. So that constant need for just feeling accepted, right? I would do anything just to feel, wanted and cool and you know what I mean?
And trying to be liked by everybody. And you know what?
Yeah.
I've learned this in media too. A lot of people are going to like my work, but a lot of people are not going to like my work. Or what's
Hmm.
the slang I'm going to use? You're not everybody's cup of tea.
Absolutely. You have to be okay with that. Like I've kind of come to terms with not everybody's gonna like my coaching style, not everybody's gonna like me, and that's okay. Like I don't take it personal. I understand that's an aspect of themselves that, I might mirror something within them that just triggers them.
Absolutely, and it's
Hmm.
with guests too. I've had a lot of people come on my show, but I've had a lot of people say no or not get back to me, and then I've had some people say no, and then they've seen my work and they've come back to me. But the word you just used there is don't take anything personally, and
Absolutely.
I try not to, and I try to turn that into motivation to keep improving and keep learning. And the importance of education doesn't just stop in a classroom; it's a lifelong process, no matter what age you are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Jen, can you talk to us about the importance of a healthy work life balance in 2025? And do you have some good tips for our audience out there?
Um, I don't know. It depends because it's so hard now. Do you know what I mean? In 2025 with the inflation and everything. So for me to say that, yes, I think it is very important to at least take time for yourself. And don't feel guilty about it, even if it's treating yourself to a coffee, like finding that balance in that. Because I understand the aspect of like having to work and, working to the point where you, like I said, it's the inflation too, right? It's very hard for people, but finding that balance, that home life balance, and taking time to, recuperate so you don't completely crash and burn.
Burnout, that's another thing I wanted to bring
Mm,
up too. I know one week here I did 6 shows in 6 days with 8 different guests. And as much as I love doing it, I think it was a little too much for me. And to me
yeah,
it's quality over quantity. and you don't want to burn out in whatever career you're in. Burnout, you don't want to end up to that stage.
Absolutely.
Jen, before we wrap this up, I just got a couple more quick questions for you, and I wanted to ask you this one as well. What are your thoughts on transformation, power of mindset, and intentional living? If you can explain that to my audience there.
Say that question again, just the beginning of it.
Wh-
Sorry.
What are your thoughts on transformation, power of mindset, and intentional living?
Um, hmm. I think that it is possible. That's for one. A lot of people don't think it is. But I think it is figuring out the reasoning into why you react that way first. You can't just run from what you're doing now to just jump to be like, woo, because a lot of people will try to fill. I explain it within my coaching. There's a difference between filling voids and fulfilling voids. So filling voids is a lot of toxic behaviors that people don't see it as toxic, like retail therapy, substance use. It's a lot of running. So fulfilling voids is obviously like nurturing those aspects, but I think it's important to reach that purposeful life, we'll say. You need to be able to sit within whatever aspects of your life are now and ask yourself why you are the way you are in order to change it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And one thing I wanted to add to this too is remove yourself from toxic environments, no matter
Yeah.
if it's at home or it's at work or with
Hmm.
friends. A toxic environment is like cancer. It'll eat away at you, and it's very difficult to be successful in a toxic environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's also just asking yourself the why, though. Because a lot of people, even with a relationship coach, I'll use this as an example, people will end up with a narcissist, we'll say, right? Or they'll keep repeating this relationship, but they'll constantly blame the narcissist. And yes, very so, like that is very tragic and traumatic, but until you figure out what it is that is attracting that narcissist into your life, you're just going to repeat those patterns, you know?
I didn't even write this question down, but I've learned to listen to my guests. And when you just mentioned relationship, what is the biggest reason why relationships don't work these days?
Oh man.
Everybody likes to blame the internet and social media, obviously, but I just wanted to get your perspective.
There's so many. I don't know which road to go. I think that it's not understanding what it is that you are trying to fill a void. A lot of people are trying to fill voids. Like oftentimes with my coaching is I say that um people are trying to fill the voids of what they didn't receive as children within their partner. So people like sorry, my brain is like but people fall into relationships with this idea of expectation. They want their partner to be this, this, and this. And also understanding that love and relationships can be very overwhelming for some if they did not receive that as a child, right? So people often get stuck in these, we'll call them reward systems, right? So, or the people pleasing, right? So yeah, as a child, if that child grew up thinking, "Oh, I'll get good grades, I'll do da 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 da," and they got this praise, right? They follow into their adult relationship thinking that's normal, right? And that's the kind of partner that they usually attract. Um, sorry, my brain is like, "Bleh." But it's an aspect of people are trying to fill voids of what they didn't receive as children, and until you like I said, can figure that out, you're going to continue to attract toxic, I guess, you know?
And also, I am, from my perspective, communication.
Hmm.
To me, when you're in a relationship,
Absolutely.
when you're in a friendship, relationship, marriage, it's a two-way street, and one side can't be doing all the work. And some of these terms I wanted to use with you as well. I've had dating coaches on here too, and some of the terms is like ghosting, breadcrumbing,
Hmm.
love bombing, and ghosting seems to be the big thing nowadays. And to me, is if a friendship or a relationship or marriage isn't working, you need to communicate with somebody instead of ghosting them. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. But it's, but the person, say if somebody does get ghosted, it's just understanding that that person, you know, love can be very overwhelming, right? Sometimes people will self-sabotage, right? If they're not used to that kind of love, like you could be the most nicest person to somebody, giving them all of this and this and this. But if they didn't grow up with that and like learning to accept that, they're gonna be like, no, oh no, no. Like they'll self-sabotage it. And I see it so many times, right?
It's very common too. Very common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As we wrap up this show, Jen, you've already answered something about the province of Manitoba, so this one is for you. What are some fun facts about Jennifer, or I'll call you Evans? What are some fun facts about yourself?
I think I'm very quirky. So I don't know how to answer that. I'm just one of a kind. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Good
Take
sense of
it or leave
humor.
it. Yeah,
Good,
I think so.
good, good sense of humor. Good
Compassionate.
conversationalist. Down to earth, from what I've seen
Yeah.
from you.
I'm a little bit of a spitfire though. I can be. It's fun. All in fun.
And this is a new segment on my show as we wrap this up. Ask the host CDP a question segment. Do you have a question or two for me?
What do you like to do for fun?
I love being at sporting events. I know some people like being at on islands and clubs and stuff like that, which is all
Yeah.
nice and dandy. But for me, I like being at a ballpark or at a football stadium or a basketball arena. I just love sports and I love being around players and coaches and fans. And I just love the game of sports because
Beautiful.
it's not always reality, but it's like life. In sports, you're going to sometimes win and sometimes you're going to lose. It's how you handle the losing part that to me is more important than the winning aspect of it. Because anybody can handle winning or being successful easily. It's how you deal with losses and setbacks.
Oh, my headphones like unplugged. I'm still listening to you. I don't know what happened there.
I can still hear you and see you.
You can still hear me? Okay. I'm
Yep,
like, what
yep.
happened to my headphones here?
Nope, I
Okay.
can hear you and see you good. So
I'll take these out. I don't know why that did that. Maybe they died.
I like shopping too. Besides being at sporting events, I like shopping. I admit it.
Oh, yeah. I should have mentioned that. I just went thrift shopping actually with my grandma and my mom yesterday.
So, but I won't be going over to that other country for a while because I used to go over there quite a bit because they have more choice than us. But for obviously reasons, I'm going to start shopping more in Canada and Ontario.
Good. Good. Do you visit Ontario quite a bit?
I need to get to other provinces too. I've never been to any other provinces in Canada other than Ontario, and
Really?
I need to start visiting more places. And I think I would love to do a road trip out to Winnipeg. I've never been on an airplane. Here's a fun fact about me: I'm left-handed, and I've never even been on an airplane yet. I've got a fear of flying,
Really?
and after 9/11, it's like forget that. And I think driving, you see more of the country than you do being on a
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah. It's very normal for people to be afraid of flying too. My daughter is too, so it's like impossible to get her on a plane. But
And finally, Jen, what advice would you give to those people that are looking to pursue a career as a relationship and life coach and And you already mentioned the importance of being certified. So just advice for those people out there that are interested in doing what you're doing.
Just do the work within yourself. I don't know, and just show passion and just be yourself. That's the best thing you can do. Like, just be yourself, be authentic to who you are, and that's why I do what I do, and I'm very out there. But I don't want to be governized. I don't want to be in the system. You know what I mean? So some people like me, some people don't. Don't be sorry, Chris. Don't be afraid. For the people that don't accept you, that's not everybody's going to. So yeah.
No, and it's like with friends too. I've lost some friends over the years. They've got married and they changed, and
Yeah,
people over time change. And my inner circle is small, but it's better to have a quality inner circle than quantity. And people change over times too, and you have to. Life is like a book. One
yeah,
chapter closes, another chapter opens, and that's the way I look at myself. One chapter of my life closed a couple years ago, and now I'm writing a new chapter, even though I'm not technically an author.
absolutely. I know I teach my kids a lot, like, treat your friends like money. So, we do it like the dollar method. So I'm like, this is how I teach them. So would you rather have one shiny dollar, 4 quarters, 10 dimes? Is it 10 dimes? Yeah, 20 nickels, or 100 useless pennies. So all of them equal the same amount, but the more you have, the more they're going to weigh you down. So yeah, we kind of narrow it down like money, like friends, right? Look at your one friend like a shiny dollar, right? And honor them.
That's actually great advice, Jen. And I wanted to get you to promote. When is your next TikTok live? I would like you to promote your TikTok page and when your next TikTok live video is.
So I go live every Tuesday from 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. And it's all free. It's just coaching or mentoring for anybody that needs. It's just a safe space for, like I said, anybody that needs. I just ask that within the room, everybody is respectful of one another, like don't talk amongst each other. Yeah. And
What
that's
is your
every Tuesday.
and what? Okay, and what's your TikTok handle again?
Is it JENNE _XO?
I have it on the graphics. Yep, I have it under the graphics.
Yeah, or you can find me if you just type in Jen Evans -life coach, and it should show up.
Thank you for sending your link to Instagram, because there's like 600, 700 Jennifer Evans or Jen Evans on there.
I believe you.
So,
and
finally, Jen, where can my audience again follow you on social media, your website, and what's the best way of somebody getting a hold of you, contacting you online?
Either Instagram or TikTok. Probably Instagram would be faster response because I have too many followers on TikTok, so sometimes it gets pushed.
Yeah.
But I do go through my messages quite often on TikTok, or if somebody wants to just send me a message, I do have a contact info on my website. It'll go straight to my email and they can get a hold of me that way.
Do you have an email that they can contact you through too?
Yeah. JenEvans.lc or JenEvans.lc@gmail.com.
Okay. Well, hey, Jen, I want to say thank you so much for giving us almost an hour of your time tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully you don't put a tariff on me.
No, I'm sorry. My brain was kind of like, what today?
It's okay. I'm a night owl, so some nights I don't get to bed to 3 in the morning, and by this time of the night, my brain's like mush. So I completely understand. So I'm going to bed early tonight. I'm going to go to bed early tonight and get a good night's sleep, because that's another thing too. The importance of sleep can affect your mental health, and it can affect your weight too with your eating too.
Absolutely.
So, but hey, it was a blast having you coming on. and plus you're Canadian too, so that's a bonus. But you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future, and I want to
Aw.
wish you continued success at what you're doing, and I'd be happy to promote your work as well.
Thank you. Likewise. And I'm
I
gonna hold
hope
it to you if you're not in bed like a certain
I
time. I'm
am.
gonna be like,
I
I
am.
see your green
I'm,
light on, sir.
I'm going to try to go to bed at midnight tonight, midnight Eastern. I think I'm
Okay,
one
I'll be
hour ahead of
watching.
you.
That's
Hey,
11 o'clock.
so one thing for you is you guys are what, an hour behind us, right? You're on
Yeah.
Central Time Zone. Okay. I have one show coming up where my one guest is on Atlantic time, which is an hour ahead of us, and one of my co-hosts, Marlene, she's out on West Coast in LA, so she's 3 hours behind. So I've got a show coming up with one host and one guest in different time zones. So being a media talk show host, you have to learn everybody's time zones for this
Wow,
show.
you're busy. I give
So
you major kudos, though. You're doing amazing.
well, I've been really lucky, and this week I've had so many amazing guests. Crystal King, a Nashville recording artist. I had Robin Rain, who was on TVO's Today's Special Kids Show back in the '80s, on my show on Tuesday. She's full of stories. And then last night, Melissa Heathers, who I really think you should connect with. I don't
Yeah,
think Melissa's on TikTok, but she is on Instagram and she's on Facebook, and she's an author like yourself, and she has a very good story as well to share.
I would love to. I'll definitely check her page out. I'm guessing she's tagged in your video, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
she is. And maybe one day you'll even have your own podcast show.
I hope so. It's a plan. I plan to be
Or,
skyrocketing. Like,
or,
I'm not gonna
or
give up.
don't give up. I'm trying to set the example for other people too as well. And Jen, give me a little bit of time tonight, and I'm going to get you the video, the audio, and I'm going to see if I can do a couple reels and clips for you tonight as well. And if you'd like to share on your social media, but it's
Oh,
been a real
perfect.
pleasure talking to you. And I know we've only known each other for what, about a month now, but it feels like I've known you for years.
Aw, I actually get that lots. That's a good
That's a
thing,
good thing.
though.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. But Jen, thank you so much for coming on here, and continued success. And we'll talk to you soon on TikTok and Instagram.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Okay. Have a good night.
You too. Bye. All right, everyone. That concludes season 10, episode 18. Overall 513 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. And speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet right now, if you're looking for a 2025 Equinox EV all-electric vehicle, 2LT, four-wheel drive, you can lease from $250 bi-weekly. That's like $125 weekly at 2.9% financing for 48 months with $3,300 down payment on an ultra low kilometer lease. And more details at barrycollin.com or pop by the dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Before we wrap up the show, guys, one of my friends, she's a Nashville recording country music artist in Nashville, originally from Denver. Her name is Rachel Lipsky. She's been on my show twice, and she's got a new song that's going to be released tomorrow, March 20th, on iTunes, Spotify, all the live streaming platforms. But Rachel gave me permission tonight to air her latest song, and it is called Cowgirl Candy by Rachel Lipsky. Her website is rachellipsky.com, rachellipsky.com, and she's on all major social media platforms. And she gave me permission, Rachel gave me permission to play her song tonight. Again, it's called Cowgirl Candy, and it's by Rachel Lipsky. And I'm going to play the audio of it now, and it's going to be released Friday, March 20th. All right, guys, I'm just having an issue with it. I'm going to try playing it again. Hopefully we can get this going. The joys of technology. Sometimes things don't always go the way you want.
Check out that hot shot. You know that he's got one thing on his mind. He wants a good time. He sure is wearing them jeans. And girl, you know what I mean. But no, that kind of guy ain't never been my type. He's locked, cocked, and loaded. Knows how to sugarcoat it. Delicious and he knows it. He cowgirl candy. He that sugar sweet fix little man. He's got me licking my lips. Might be wrong, might be right. Must be something in the moonlight. 'Cause I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth tonight. For some cowgirl candy. One, two, three. Oh Lord, he's looking at me. Now I've got that buzz. Must be that sugar rush. I know it might be a mistake, but I gotta give me a taste. I can't stand it, but hot damn, he's cowgirl candy. He that sugar sweet fix little man. He's got me licking my lips. Might be wrong, might be right. Must be something in the moonlight. 'Cause I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth tonight. For some cowgirl candy. Here we go. Cowgirl candy. He's like cocked and loaded. Knows how to sugarcoat it. Delicious and he knows it. The cowgirl candy. Ooh. Yeah! Cowgirl candy. Be that sugar sweet fix little man. He's got me licking my lips. Might be wrong, might be right. Must be something in the moonlight. 'Cause I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth tonight. For some cowgirl candy. Might be wrong, might be right. Must be something in the moonlight. 'Cause I got a sweet tooth. I got a sweet tooth tonight.
That clip was courtesy of Rachel Lipsky, a Nashville recording country music artist, and this was her latest song, Cowgirl Candy, which is going to be released on all live streaming platforms on Friday, March 20th, tomorrow. Rachel was kind enough to give me permission to play her song tonight, and you can check out her website, rachellipsky.com. That's rachellipsky.com, and Rachel is on all social media platforms as well. And that again was Cowgirl Candy by Rachel Lipsky. And I'm hoping to have Rachel back on my talk show in the future for her third appearance. And Rachel is a native of Denver, Colorado, and a huge Denver Broncos fan as well. All right, guys, this is my fourth show and fourth day. And I want to say thank you to all my wonderful guests this week and everyone for watching and listening. My next live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCollin.com, to be announced. I have some more shows next week, and I'm just going to confirm with my guests. So I will make those announcements on my social media platform next week. I've already done 10 shows in March in 19 days and 4 in 4 days. So I'm going to take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and I will be back for sure next week with at least 3 more new episodes next week, and maybe even a baseball episode as well. And I want to say thank you to my sponsor, Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership here in Guelph. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned GM vehicle or an all-electric vehicle or a Cadillac vehicle, Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership is the place to go. And before we wrap up this show, guys, I'm on Cameo. Yes, I am on Cameo. Hard to believe. But if you would like a personalized video message from me, go to cameo.com and type in Chris Palme, and the money from my cameos will go to my media and radio show as well. So please check me out on cameo.com, Chris Palme as well. And before I wrap up this show, as always, guys, I joined another social media site. I am now on Blue Sky Social. Blue Sky Social, which is another form of Twitter without the owner of X being involved in it. I'll leave it at that. I'm on Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP 19. At Live with CDP 19, and please hit the follow on bluesky.social as well. Cambridge and District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road here in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0, or check out the website cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the pets and animals that are up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer as a dog walker, as such as myself, twice a week, you can fill out a volunteer application form there as well. And they're doing a quarterly 50-50 jackpot draw. The winner gets half the money, and the Humane Society and their programs gets half the money as well. So cambridgehumanesociety.org. And also, guys, right now at the Cambridge District Humane Society, if you're in the Guelph, Cambridge, Kitchener-Waterloo area, and you would like to help them out, they are currently looking for unclumping cat litter. They're looking for unclumping cat litter for their cats down at the Cambridge District Humane Society. And they're also looking for dog treats right now. If you have some dog treats at home that you're not using, or you're able to go out and purchase some dog treats and unclumping cat litter, they would greatly appreciate it as well at the Cambridge District Humane Society. And they also do a pet emergency fund for the city of Cambridge once a week on Wednesdays. If you have cat food, dog food, any kind of pet food at home that you're no longer using, please consider donating it to the Cambridge District Humane Society Pet Emergency Fund. It's for people that are struggling financially right now with the cost of pet food out there. So that's another thing there too. They do really wonderful work at the Cambridge District Humane Society, and their executive director is Michelle Glatley. And they're one of their office people who I deal with on a regular basis. Her name is Kat. So if you're interested in helping them out, please check out their website. Like I mentioned, it's on my graphics, or give them a call at 519-623-7722, extension 0. And the Cambridge District Humane Society thanks you for your donations. All right, guys, finally, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show again is live streamed on these platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. Please make sure you follow and subscribe. You can also check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. I am also a content creator, and I'm back on TikTok with a new page at Chris Palme. So make sure you hit at Chris Palme on TikTok, and please follow. I'm at about 460 followers on my new page. A long story about my other page. I'm trying to get back to 1,000. So let's get Chris to 1,000 on TikTok so I can go live there again as well. And my YouTube channel, guys. I'm at 565 YouTube subscribers. Thank you to my subscribers. I would like to get to 600 subscribers. So if I can get to 600 subscribers, that 600 subscriber, if they're in the Guelph area, will get a special prize as well. So let's get CDP to 600 YouTube subscribers and 1,000 followers on TikTok. And for those who are following me and subscribing, thank you so much. Your support means a lot to me. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting or just live streaming in general, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans or paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of live streaming, webinars, StreamYard.com, and contact their sales department for more pricing. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio versions on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to hit subscribe and like as well. Finally, you can email Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And also, if you'd like to tip me for my talk show and my media work, you really enjoy it, I am on PayPal at cpame19@gmail.com. And that about wraps it up for this week, guys. I want to say thank you to all my guests. Crystal King, who came on Monday, Robin Hale. She's formerly with TVO's Today's Special, and she's now a comedian in Toronto. I want to say thank you to her as well. And to Melissa Heathers, author from a book called Dear Eagle, Dear Heart, for coming on last night. And thank you to my guest tonight. Thank you so much for coming on as well, Jennifer Evans. Guys, I have to admit, I haven't been getting a lot of sleep there, so I might have just forgot for a second there. So I'm human and I need to get some sleep, but I just want to say thank you to all my wonderful guests this week for coming on, and thank you everyone for watching this live stream and on my audio platforms, and to Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership, who's been a main sponsor of this show for the last 2.5 years. So again, if you are looking for a new or used vehicle or an all electric vehicle or even a Cadillac, please check out barrycullen.com or drop by the dealership in the Guelph Auto Mall. They're family run, family operated in Guelph, and they have great customer services in that as well. And before we wrap this up, guys, I am going to be working on a Detroit podcast show, a Detroit Pistons podcast show in the next week or two. This Pistons team is now 40-31, and they won last night, 116-113 over Miami. Cade Cunningham had another double-double, 25 points, and hit the game-winning 3-point shot off the glass with 0.6 seconds left. And this Pistons team, they're on the verge of making the playoffs for the first time since 2019 and having their first winning season, I think, since 2015 or 2016. And hopefully the Pistons can end their playoff winless drought. The last 14 playoff games the Pistons have played, they have lost. They haven't won a playoff game in the NBA since 2008 when they lost to the Celtics. I believe it was in the Eastern Conference Final. So it's been a long time since this Detroit Pistons team has played really good basketball. And Cade Cunningham, to me, is one of the best players in the National Basketball Association. And for those Toronto Raptors who fans thought Scotty Barnes was better than Cade Cunningham, don't get me wrong, Scotty Barnes is a good player, but he's not at the same level as Cade Cunningham. And JB Bickerstaff has done a great job. The new general manager, Langdon, has come in here. The operations guy and GM has done a wonderful job. And there's no more talk about Tom Gores. See? Everybody wanted Gores to sell the team because they struggled and sucked the last 15 years since he's owned the team, but winning solves a lot of things. And now that the franchise is winning again and they're exciting and they're fun, they're gritty, Tom Gores is kind of in the background, as it should be, because it should be, the focus should be on the team. And it's just great to see this Pistons team have a winning season and hopefully a long playoff run as well. That is about it, guys, for this Thursday, March 20th. And again, thank you to my guests this week and tonight, Jennifer Evans, for coming on. And I will make an announcement on my social media pages on Friday night or Saturday about my next 3 shows next week. And I think 1 or 2 of them are going to be baseball shows as well as a lacrosse show as well. So have a great night. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you back here next week for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph. Good night, everybody.
What's up, guys? It's Adam.
Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn.